Okay, y'all. So listen, I'm just I ain't gonna when I start on time, I start on time. But my guest had to be fashionably late. I'm a talk about him. I'm gonna talk about him while he not on the screen because he can't defend himself right now. So I'm gonna talk about him right now. My guest was fashionably late, but you know what? But that's okay. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who always tune in to the podcast, listen to me on KHAM Radio and Flex Radio, listen on all the podcast platform. I definitely appreciate y'all. Thank you to everybody who be buying my prints. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna have more prints soon. So right now my prints are in um Moons and Sage Spiritual Shop on Clyde Fan Suite 800. So y'all make sure y'all go check them out and go check out my prints. And I'm actually going to have a meet and greet, believe it or not. I'm going to have a meet and greet August 34th. So now I already posted on page, but y'all going to see it a lot more. So I appreciate y'all. So let's go ahead and get right into this interview. So today, okay, class is back in session, and I'm finna look, y'all got to tap in because I be bringing the heat when it comes to these interviews. Okay, I'm trying to keep y'all tapped in. I'm trying to give y'all some resources. I'm trying to give y'all some dope interviews. So I like for my guests to introduce themselves. So look who I got. Beyonce little brother. This Beyonce little brother.
Yes, yes, I am.
This is
Yes, I
Beyonce
am.
little brother. So y'all please go ahead and clap it up for Marvkevea Campbell.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
No problem. And look, let me tell you something. I've misspelled your name several times, even when we did that interview a while back for the city of Shreveport. But let me tell you why. It's because I'm black. Because we don't pronounce your name correctly. We call you Marvkevea. We
That's
don't
so
call you
true.
Marvkevea.
Yes. My
So
assistant just got on to me about that. That was literally 2 days ago. Alex
mhm,
just told me, she was like, your name is Marv Kivier. I was like, I know.
absolutely.
But she was like, you're not telling people that. And I was like, and I thought that I was getting away with it because I shortened my name. I tell everyone to call me Marv. And I'm like, well, if I just tell them Marv, then they'll just get the hint. So,
Yeah,
all
but correct them. Correct
yeah,
them.
you're absolutely right.
Your
She's
name is
absolutely
Marv
right.
Kivier. So
Yes,
correct them.
Marv Kibier.
Marv Kivier. So
Yeah.
absolutely correct them. So go ahead, and I really don't know where to start. I mean, because you do so much besides the educational stuff.
Mhm.
So go ahead and because and I'm asking because whoever educating our kids, we want to know more about you.
Right.
So go ahead and give us your background. Tell us about you.
Absolutely. Well, I have to shout you out. Thank you for having me. It's not too many podcasters or content creators that will bring an educator on. So I thought that that was super cool. I'm not an influencer.
Oh,
I'm not any of that. And I've always wanted to be on a podcast. Like, this is really, really
oh,
important to me. I've always wanted to
oh.
be on a podcast, but I was like, my work is too noble. Nobody wants to talk to me. Except the news station and the newspaper. So thank you so much for, just doing this for me. My name is Marvkevea Campbell, born and raised here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Am proud of that. Never left, lived here my entire life, and I
Right.
love Shreveport. Um, Marvkevea's Learning Center is a K-12 tutoring service. I have been a classroom teacher for 7 years, and this is my first year jumping into entrepreneurship, full time entrepreneurship. Amongst just the things that I'll just keep it short in terms of the main things that I do,
Mhm.
being an educator, being a tutor, being a business owner, and an entrepreneur. I still serve as the vice chairman of the Human Relations Commission here for the city of Shreveport.
Okay.
I'm the legislative committee rep for the Louisiana Association of Educators. So I travel up and down the highways, especially here in the north, and I speak with teachers, recruiting them to be a part of LAE because it's important that we have teachers a part of unions. Our job is to protect teachers, to protect our students, and to be advocates. If you know me, I speak up. I've never been afraid to not say the quiet parts out loud. That's never been me. So I've always been able to just say what needs to be said, and that means I'm also political. I've ran political campaigns, I've ran grassroots campaigns, and so that's what led into my work with LAE and all of that.
Okay.
So and of course you mentioned it earlier. I like to mention this. I'm the biggest Beyonce fan ever. So yeah.
Let them know. Let them know. Let
Biggest
them
Beyonce
know.
fan ever.
Look, I'm not mad. I'm not. Look, I would never disrespect because I don't feel like fighting y'all off. I would never disrespect the
The
Beehive. Never.
Beehive is serious.
I would never disrespect them. All hell, all hell.
Oh hell,
And
the
you're
queen.
and this in this part too. You are also a actor and a singer.
Yes.
Throw that in
I
there.
went.
Throw that in there. Get your credentials in there.
Oh yeah, I went to Centenary College. I've been My mom and my sister put me on stage when I was 9 years old,
Okay.
and I fell in love with performing. So actually, I did not when I began teaching in 2017, right after I graduated from Centenary, here in Shreveport, which is a private liberal arts institution, it's one of the top colleges in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right here in Shreveport. And I don't think that people understand that
Right.
Centenary College is one of the top colleges in the country.
Right.
That is insane, and not just everyone can go there.
Right.
You just don't say,
Right.
"Oh, I want to go to Centenary," and you apply, and it's like it's done. It's a lot of hard work, but um, I went there and I was in play after play after play. I was part of the choir, and that's actually where Marvkevea's Learning Center was birthed. It wasn't until I graduated and I became an educator. That
Mhm.
was my first real job. That was the first thing that I did aside from performing. So my span in terms of what have I done with my life was going to school and attending college, doing things during that 4 year span and performing for my entire life. I didn't start slowing down performing until I turned 22.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. 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 So what made you get into um education? Because being a educator is definitely a calling.
mhm.
So let us know, how did you get into how did you, what led you into being an educator?
So I went to Centenary and I had a lot of scholarships. I had a lot of grants, and a few loans too. But I entered my junior year and my balance was not paid. I had a balance to start the fall semester.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big balance too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I can't pay this. I did not really have a job at that time to get that paid. I was working at Strawn's across the street as a waiter, and I loved that place, but I didn't think that I could make enough tips in time
Mm-hmm.
to get it paid for at that time. There were no work study jobs left. And so one of the administrators on the campus approached me about working in the Student Resource Center. And the deal was, okay, I tell you what, you can work here and just every little cent that you make is going towards this balance.
Okay.
So I said, okay, so I went to the library, which is where the Student Resource Center was located. And just, different people just came up there if they needed help with writing a paper. That's how it originally started. I was
Okay.
a writing tutor and I was an English tutor. And a couple of weeks went by and they would come back to me and I'm thinking that they might need more help. And they're like, "Thank you so much for helping me," and they will tell me that, "Hey, this is what I made on this paper, and I have a better understanding than what you gave me a better understanding than what my professor gave." And I'm like, "Really?" Because in my head, I'm doing this out of a need because I loved my school so much that I didn't want to transfer. I thought
Mhm.
that I would have had to transfer. I was going to go to LSUS because
Mhm.
it was cheaper then.
Right.
And I thought to myself, wait a minute, you keep getting good report after good report after good report. So
Mhm.
eventually the balance did get paid, but
Right.
I stayed as a student resource tutor, and I still graduated with my degree in performing arts in theater and music.
Mhm.
But I said to myself, I think I want to be an educator because it was just something about people coming to you and not being able to understand something. And
Right.
then you can break something down to them and they get it. That was the best feeling in the world. And that's what made me want to be a teacher.
That's all. That is. Look, y'all have to look. Y'all have to. You have to clap it up. You have to clap
Yeah.
it up for the educators because they definitely not working hard for the money. So let's get that.
No.
Let's get that clear. It's
Right.
trust me, they not doing it for the money. I promise you that. And it's just very hard. It's very especially these days. It's very hard to find an educator that actually cares
Right.
whether the student understands or not.
That's so important. I remember teaching, and you could say, "All right, we're good." If everyone got it, and everyone's like, "Mm-hmm," and you could you
Uh-huh.
could
Yeah.
tell you could tell this like, no, no one gets it. And that happens. Sometimes I would get off of work and I would leave school and I would have to come home and that would be on my mind. I'm
Mhm.
thinking, this did not go how I planned.
Right.
And I'm thinking, okay, I just can't move on, especially if it's
Mhm.
the majority of the class. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, let's go back and revisit the next
Mhm.
day. And I come in and I say, hey, we had a tough day yesterday. Let's look at this again. And I change my approach. And then
Yeah.
you can
They
tell
get
when they've got it.
right. Cause I yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I don't understand a damn thing. Yes.
No.
Yes. I get it. I get it. That's pretty cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so what how was your first day as a teacher? What was the first school you taught at? And how was your first day as a when you were teaching?
Oh, it was frightening. And it was frightening because and it's still been that way because all of my students have always been bigger than me. I have not
Okay.
grown since high school. So I'm 5'6", I'm very short and I'm very little.
Mhm.
And when you think about like the athletes and
Mhm.
upper level kids that you would teach, well, when I first started, I had middle school students, but I quickly transitioned to high school. And
Mhm.
so when I had high school students, all of my students were bigger than me. And I was just like, okay, but my nerves and my stomach was about I didn't want to let them down. Like I wanted to be
Yeah.
my best, not because they were bigger than me, because I knew that my presence and what I had to say was important, and I knew that when I spoke, I knew that they listened.
Right.
So I didn't feel like inferior, but I wanted to do a really really great job. It was always my biggest fear to do something that or say something that I didn't mean or it will confuse them or something like that.
Mhm.
And then I would have to go back and fix it. I will always be so careful about how I presented information to them
Right.
because I wanted them to be very, very clear about what I said. So I was always very intentional with my words.
Okay. Okay. So now that we talked about your first day, what made you make the decision this year to go to the next level to have your tutoring service full time?
You're the first person that I'm talking to this about. Like
I'm
this is like
we're here
breaking
for it.
news.
We're here. We are
This
here
is
because
like
I'm telling you, like everybody, I'm telling you, because look, my group chat was going like what Marvkevea gonna do next. Like when you made
Yeah.
the announcement, we would look, we was in your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
We was in your business. We was like, okay, so he announced his last day.
Yeah.
What's next? What he got going on? And then you made the next time you going full time. So look, tell us how you made your decision, and let us know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. It was not just something that I woke up and did. Um,
Hmm.
it was something that had been on my heart for a really long time.
Hmm.
And honestly, Marvkevea's Learning Center, I made a mistake. I heard someone talk about this before. They were like, if you ever start a business and
Hmm.
if you ever make that business your name, you have now put yourself in a position to where you will literally do anything to protect that business because you can't say Marvkevea's Learning Center without saying Marvkevea.
Right.
And Marvkevea is me, is who I am. So when I started, I always believed that anything that I put out into the world,
Hmm.
I always believed that it can travel further than Shreveport.
That's right.
I've always felt that way. I've always felt that, you know, the things that we do and the things that we say are so impactful. And because I've named my business after my name, I've taken a certain responsibility to be sure that whatever you do is going to reflect MLC, whether it's good,
Mhm.
whether it's bad,
Right.
it's going to reflect your brand. And so this just to be honest, last school year, they talk about the teacher shortage, they talk about all of
Right.
these different things that we're going through in the school system. And a lot of those things are true. There are things that we do need to work on in the school system. But to be honest, the main reason that I decided to step out and to do things my own way is
Mhm.
because I felt the need that I could be more impactful with students one on one.
Okay.
Is I mean, in my classroom, you have 28, 29, 30, 35 students at one time. That's
Mm.
35 different personalities, that's 35 different brains, that's 35 different ways of learning.
Mhm.
And doing it for the past 7 years, the last 2 years have just been really, really, really tough. And I think that I put on a very, very brave face. And I
Mhm.
think that the challenges that I saw, I was like, I want to do something about it, but I I can't do anything about it full time in the classroom.
Right.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
So I made the decision and I prayed about it, I thought about it, I wrestled with it. Um, and I could literally feel it. I
Mhm.
could feel it in my heart, in my soul, in my gut that I physically could not return to a classroom
Mhm.
to do the things that I want to do. I am I am my biggest dreamer. I dream so big.
Right.
And I just don't think I didn't think that the things that I want to do
Mhm.
could come to fruition with me being inside of the classroom. I felt held captive a lot. I felt like I couldn't be as free and as expressive. I felt like I had reached my ceiling, to be
Okay.
honest. I
Okay.
had done so much. I've done, and I'm young, and there are a lot of people that you know, seeing the things that I've done the past 7, 8 years.
Mhm.
You would, if you just read me on paper, you would think that I'm in my 40s, maybe my early 50s,
Mhm.
but I'm just
Mhm.
30 years old.
Yeah.
And when I graduated school, I hit the ground running. I've done so many things while teaching,
Right.
and teacher burnout is so real, and it is so it's 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 one of the reasons why I feel that we are experiencing what we are experiencing with some of our schools. You
Mm.
have some of our best teachers leaving, flocking, not necessarily to go teach somewhere else, but they're just completely leaving the profession.
Mhm.
And there are reasons for that. That's a whole nother podcast there, but that's why I did it. I want to be impactful in other ways, and in the ways that I want to do it, I can't do it being inside of the classroom for 8 hours.
Okay, I get it. So you just felt restricted. You felt limited being in the
Super.
classroom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So now that you have space to be free to do what you need to do to help your students. So
Right.
I completely understand it. So actually my first job was a tutor. I was a
Really?
yeah, I
What
was
you tutoring?
listen, I'm intelligent. Okay. Okay. I am intelligent. I am educated. Okay.
Yes, you are.
I went to college. I didn't graduate, but I was there. I was there. My first job, I was like 15. I was a tutor. Mount Canaan Baptist Church had a tutoring after school tutoring program, and I was a tutor.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
I was like 15, 16, around up in that age.
Why didn't you stick with it?
That was so long ago. Oh my God. I can't remember. I don't know if I left. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm really not. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure.
I
But
think you
yep.
should try to do it again and see if
Well,
you can figure it out.
Well, wait. Let me tell you. So when I went to, I used to help a lot of when I was in high school. Um, I used to help a lot of people. I used to do people homework and stuff in high school. I used to help. You know, I, I got some people up out of there. Let me tell you that I did my part. And I went to Booker T. Washington High School. I did my part. I got some folks up out of there. Okay, I got some people up out of there. But when I went to LSUS and I did my major was secondary education mathematics.
Wow. So you can handle some algebra one,
Oh yeah,
some,
yeah, yeah.
some algebra
Like
two.
like with standardized tests, I used to make perfect scores.
Wow.
I'm smart.
Yes, you are. We know you smart, but that's a fun fact that I didn't know.
Yeah,
You
I got the
you
papers.
kept that you
I got
kept
the
that away
papers.
from us.
Yeah, I made perfect. I used to make perfect scores on standardized tests. That's why they used to change them so much when they went from leap to this.
Mhm.
Perfect scores.
That is crazy. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
absolutely. So, and the reason I stopped with my education major, it was something about me and the professor. Me and the professor kept bumping heads about stuff, and it didn't work. So
Well,
I switched from secondary education to just majoring in mathematics.
okay, so you're still the math girl then.
I actually thought about going back. I still think about going back to finish. I still
You
think about it.
should.
I
You have
still
a very like electric energy that I think that for people because people are afraid of math. They are so afraid
oh
of
yes.
math.
Yes, trust me.
And so
I was the only one in summer classes. I was the only one. I was the only one. It take a black person like me to want to go to college and major in mathematics. It's me.
right.
It's me. But I love math and science. Like I just love it. I love math because I love math because there's an answer. There's no gray area. It's black or white. There's no gray area when it comes to math. Like this is the answer. This is the way to get it. And I just love that. Like it's a definite answer. This is this. I just love it. That's what I love about math. So yeah.
Right.
And then it actually came back around a few years later. When I was a pharmacy tech instructor when Virginia College was here, I was a pharmacy tech instructor.
Mhm.
So, you know, I'm an educator in a different way. So even though I wanted to be a teacher, God still put me in a place where I could still educate people on different stuff and aspects that I know about.
And that's important. And I've shared that story with so many people that I think that people think that an educator means that
Mhm.
you are a classroom teacher.
Right,
And
right.
that's just not the case.
That's just not the case. Right.
That's
And it just took a while for that to like grip in my head, like because everybody's still like you still have it in you. You still can go be a teacher. Well, if it's not enough money right now, it's just not enough money right now. But I still get to educate people. I still get to educate people differently. So
right.
yeah. So let us know about the services that you provide at Marvkevea's Learning Center.
So we do tutor from K through 12, and I just want to talk about that first. And it's only in English and reading and
Okay.
math. So and it's not just me. I We've grown now, so I do have other
Mhm.
tutors now. So because I can't tutor everybody.
Right.
But we do offer services in English reading and math. I'm really your standardized test person, so that's funny that you were just talking about that. So a lot of people find me for, say, the ACT,
Mhm.
when it's time for LEAP, even for some adults that are going back and they need to get their GED, so they might have to take the high set. We
Right.
work with adults as well, especially a lot of adults in the medical field
Mm.
that have to take a test called the Acuplacer.
Mhm.
They have to take that if they're like a CNA or an LPN or something like that, and they have to pass a math portion. That's just a quick example. Those are the main services that we offer right now. So when people are looking for tutoring, we really cover a lot of bases, and then we're not just tutoring. We have
Mhm.
real time data that show this is how we started and this is how you ended with us.
Okay.
Like when you feel
Because
like, oh,
some
I
people
got it.
need to see
We
results.
absolutely.
Yes.
And I really do feel that that's really been the secret to our staying power, because parents are literally able to see with their eyes their
Mhm.
child progress and grow and whatever subject that they're coming to see us about. And we'll go through a little break because it's like, they feel strong, they feel empowered. So they work with us for a little minute. So we might have a little break, and then but then you'll have some parents that are like, no, this is not stopping. We're gonna even try to go even further. And we might ease up just a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
we keep it going. And so that's why I love school breaks and the summertime so much, because just last week I had 4 parents reach out to me to tell me how much they appreciated our summer learning initiative,
Okay.
Avoid the Summer Slide, because everything that I told them that they were going to see in the first 9 weeks so far,
Mhm.
they've seen it.
Okay.
And now their kids have walked in like, oh, I know this. I can, like, it's confidence. Learning confidence is so important when you're trying to learn a new skill, or when you're trying to
Mhm.
master a new skill. That confidence is almost, I won't say more important, but it's just as equally as important as you feel
Mhm.
like, oh, I already got it, or you feel like that you already know it. To walk in with a certain kind of like chip on your shoulder
Right.
because you've been exposed to the information already
Mhm.
makes you feel like I can do this.
Right. I agree. So let me ask you this. Do you do do you do I know you do the in person. Do you do virtual tutoring sessions?
We just recently started offering virtual, for families that really, really need it. But going back to something that I just said, I also think that one of the reasons why we're heavily sought out is because we only tutor one on one. We're not doing two
Okay.
people at one
Okay.
time. It's not 3 people at one time.
Okay.
Because if that's the case, they could have got it in the classroom.
That's true.
That's that's
That's
that's
true.
always been my position. No, every person deserves one-on-one attention. This 1 hour that we're together is all about you, and it's private. No one else can hear you. No one can hear
Right.
you say, "Oh, you don't get something," or "You're uncomfortable with something."
Right.
When that's said to me, or to the other tutors or whatever, and they leave at the end of that hour, and
Mhm.
all of that information stays with us. And don't get me wrong, we do give um a reflection at the end to the parent, but
Okay.
we don't go into a detail where the child will feel inferior about
Okay.
what they said to us. We'll just list that, hey, these are some areas we need to look at. So we will recommend strongly doing
Mhm.
this. But we won't say, oh, they said that they, really just don't bop, 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 bop. Like we're not going to do that. We
Right.
provide that security. So we do virtual.
Okay.
But a lot of our clients really do love that one-on-one touch, that
Yeah,
that one-on-one in person, and that I'm right here, you're right there, and let's do it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. Okay, and do you give out like with your consistent students that come every time? Do you do they get like extra homework to take home with them?
So we do have something called home learning packets, and so what the
Okay.
home learning is, it's essentially a tool that we use to ensure that they're really grasping what we went over when we're not there.
Right.
It's easy to get something, and I'm right here with you. But
Right.
if
Right.
when I'm not there,
Right.
when Marv or Christina or the other few tutors that I have, when we're not right there with you, what is your staying power? How
Mhm.
successful will you be without us? So we do give something for them to do. It never overextends them, because of course we know that their homework at school is important. So we're not giving like, you know, packets of stuff to do.
Right.
It,
Right.
it, it gets to the point of, this is what we did. This is just what I want you to look at. And we give deadlines as well. And all of that is discussed way in advance. We set
Right.
that expectation. We let them know that, okay, this is what you asked us to come and help you with. This is what you've asked for us to do. Well, this is what's required of you to ensure that you get the result that you want.
Right. Okay. Okay. So my next question is, do you guys do a when the student comes in, okay? And I words is not coming to my brain right now. Do y'all do a evaluation of the student before you start tutoring?
Yes, we do give a diagnostics. Yes.
Okay, evaluation. Look, check me. Check, check me.
Yes,
Diagnostic. Okay.
we do give a diagnostics, and that's
Okay.
only for special services. So let's just say if you are saying, "Oh, I don't understand this skill," well, we're probably not going to do a diagnostics for that, because if they're just booking, just say a single session with us, then that's not what that would be. That's something that we will look at and say, oh, you don't get this, and we will just go through it with them
Okay.
and get them to see what they need to see. Now I will say, we have had moments, and this was in our early years, where people will come to us and say, oh my gosh, I just really don't understand this thing, my teacher's teaching me this, and we would be going through it with them, and they're
Mhm.
still kind of struggling with some things, and then that's when we would understand that you are missing some skills from back
Mhm.
then. So at the end of that, we would say to that parent, or if the client is an adult, because we work with adults as well, that
Right.
hey, we need to do something else. And I would then say, we think that you need to purchase one of our bundles. So
Okay.
we provide bundles for our clients, and with our bundles comes the diagnostic, comes
Okay.
multiple sessions, comes multiple home learning packets, and
Okay.
also check-ins. So that check-in
Okay.
means it might be 2 or 3 days after the tutoring session, and I'm calling your phone or I'm sending you a
Mhm.
text, and I'm essentially performing a temperature check on you. How
Okay.
are you? Where are you? How are things going? Etc. 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 It's that sort of overextension of the tutoring session where we're able to check in with each other to see where you are. Their diagnostics for the past year, because we just started doing that last year, that has worked wonders, because you have so many parents that bring their child and they're like, I just don't know. And we perform this diagnostics.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, it will list verbatim what level they're on. So let's say you bring me a sixth grader
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking for a score of 600 and higher because
Okay.
that's just where they should be. Well, if they get done with the diagnostics and the score is a let's say a 425, well, that means that we're on a fourth grade level.
Okay.
And that means that also these are the things that we need to look at. And so what I do, I work really hard at closing that gap. So they're
Okay.
still going to go to school because they still got to be a sixth grader.
Right.
But with me, I'm going to allow you to do what you need to do at school, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to close this gap very, 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 very quickly
Right. Right. Right.
because we have X amount of days, time, weeks, whatever, to get to a certain place. And I'm going to do everything that I can in my power to get you where you were supposed to have been in the first place. And the hope
Right.
is with me doing what I'm doing and with you learning in real time at school, at a certain
Mhm.
point, something is going to collide.
Right.
And that's going to be a
Right.
really, really good thing. That's going to be a good thing because you're going to say, oh, wait, this skill that I just went over with Marvkevea
Mm-hmm.
built on this skill that my teacher is teaching me right
Mm-hmm.
now in sixth
Mm-hmm.
grade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why math is so magical because
Right.
it's a stepping stone. It's
Right.
rarely new stuff. Once you reach, I want to say, a certain point, the math just grows. It doesn't, nothing becomes new
Right.
necessarily,
Right.
you know? So
Right. Right. And that's cool. So I'm glad that you explained all that because sometimes some people think that tutoring is just, oh, we're just gonna help you with your homework. But
no,
your tutoring business is different.
I was about to say we don't do that actually. We
Okay.
like we tell don't talk to us nothing about homework. Like, because is it that, because honestly, is it that you don't understand the homework or you don't understand the skill?
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things. Because I've had homework before when I was a kid, and I'm like, ooh, that didn't mean that I didn't understand the skill. I might have ran across a
Mm-hmm.
problem or two, and I'm thinking, geez, this one is not getting it for me because something slight could have changed, a variable here or a
Yeah.
sign here or
Yeah.
just something kind of janky. But it
Right.
doesn't mean that I don't know the skill.
Right.
So we don't do homework help. So I hope the people out there hear me when I say, please, uh, please don't call us about homework necessarily because we're gonna end up figuring out that it's more than likely not the homework, it's the
Uh-huh.
skill. And
It's
then of course we're going to help you.
That's right. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Um, Shucks. What are your do so do you so you just started expanding. What is your big goal for Marquevia's Learning Center?
I have gotten that question so many times.
And I'm listening. I'm listening. Oh, and also to everybody that's tuning in, if you have, please ask your questions. Please,
Yeah,
yes, please. I tell y'all every podcast. I probably didn't say it when I posted it, but if you have questions, like please feel free to drop your question so we can answer your Mark. Not me. I'm just hosting. So Marquevia can answer your question. So please feel free to ask them. I'm sorry.
definitely.
Go ahead.
The big goal with Marquevea's Learning Center. So we recently just rebranded ourselves because I had a meeting with my team this summer
Mm-hmm.
and I told them, I said, we have to put ourselves out there more than just an educational sort
Mm-hmm.
of institution. And when I say educational institution, I mean that within the K 12 sector. we are more than just a core subject. Um, this past summer, Marvkevea's Learning Center, outside of tutoring, we have traveled a lot. I've done a lot of
Mhm.
traveling this summer where I've done conventions, I've spoken to uh, other teachers, I've led workshops on a variety of different things. I've traveled
Mhm.
to Baton Rouge because it is uh, um, election season. And so
Mhm.
I've done a lot of voter education.
Okay.
So all of that is educating people on
Right.
just stuff, right? And
Right.
so I said, okay, when I think about Marvkevea's Learning Center in its entire entity, it is anything that we can do within our willpower that we are trained and well versed in. So,
Mhm.
of course, there's going to be our core subjects and all of that, but we added performing arts. So now we are doing vocal lessons now. We're doing acting lessons
Okay.
now. We are
Okay.
doing we're traveling and doing speeches and conventions and workshops now.
Okay.
If
Okay.
we can teach you to do something and we know how to do it, then we
Right.
gonna help you do it.
Right. Right.
And and I always get this question too, like, will Marvkevea's Learning Center ever be like a school?
Mhm.
I have not dreamt that far yet, but
Okay.
I will tell you what I have thought about. I do know that it will be an establishment in which people will be able to come to for resources, for tutoring, of course, because we
Mhm.
are a mobile service, and I think that people love that too. People are able to allow I can go straight to them, and that gets into that privacy thing. Like they don't have to go to the library or they don't have to go to. I go to wherever they want us to go, where they feel
Mhm.
comfortable.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but I do imagine us in that way. I want it to be a one-stop shop for people to go to when they just simply need information and they need
Absolutely.
guidance.
Yeah.
So Marvkevea's Learning Center is more than a math problem. It's more than a paragraph that you're gonna read on an English test. It is
Mhm.
more than any standardized test that you'll ever take. I want to be a resource for children and for families and for our community, period. Come to Marvkevea's Learning Center if you are just simply seeking information.
That's awesome. So you want to be a resource for everything.
Mhm.
We be needing it. We
And
be
we
we,
do.
we
And
be
people are
needing
afraid
it.
to say that.
No,
People,
we need it. No, we need. Let me get. We need it. We need it. Because sometimes it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to hop around different places and say, "Oh, I got to go here for this. I got to go here for this," and stuff like this. So we definitely need a. It's definitely nice to have a one stop shop.
Mhm.
It's definitely nice, and I definitely support that. I definitely support
Yeah.
that. So tell us about the merchandise you got out. Do you got coming out to support? Let's talk. Let's
Yes.
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, that's probably the one thing that I'm probably most excited about within the past few weeks.
Okay.
I've always wanted to sell merchandise. I've
Mhm.
always wanted to sell merchandise, shirts, hats, mugs. I'm a mugs person. Like I have so many mugs. Like I want Marvkevea's Learning Center shirts, and so that's what we have now in a variety of colors now.
Mhm.
They do begin at $25 for small, medium, large, and extra large, and then they go up another $5 for the extra large. Those are on sale now, and we are actually shipping out our first batch next week. Like
Okay,
it's
good.
it's been and we
Good.
sold, I think we sold like maybe 20, and it's only been on sale
Okay.
for like a week. And that's so big for me
Yeah,
because I'm like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody bought a shirt. Somebody real deal bought a shirt,
Yeah.
and little stuff like that. Like I remember when I got the first notification, the post was up for maybe an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a notification, and it's the same notification that someone would that I would see, like if someone pays an invoice.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
initially didn't look, and I said, well, let me see who this is. I'm thinking it's the client, and it was like this person purchased the shirt, this person purchased the shirt, and I was like, oh my god, and that was so big to me. It was it
yeah.
I don't know, like I know a lot of people have been doing it for years, but that's just one of the things that have been on my list to do,
Mm-hmm.
putting stuff on people to wear and walk around with, you know.
Right,
And
right.
me being an educator, I'm a big coffee person, so we're gonna start coffee mugs next month. Um,
Okay, okay.
so super, super, super excited. Like
And
just
that's good. And they just give that just gives people another way for people to support you who don't need tutoring.
exactly because everybody don't need tutoring,
Everybody
but
don't
I
need
still need a
tutoring.
coin.
But period.
I'm
So
serious.
if you want to support Markevia's Learning Center and you don't need tutoring, please you got a website for the shirt or you posting a link or
Yeah, so it's right there on our Facebook and our Instagram page.
okay.
And I will say, I know people are waiting for the website. I'm so excited. I believe in doing this. When you come out with something, you got to do it right, and it got
Oh,
to be big. Like, and everything that I do is never small. I've noticed that about myself.
mm-hmm.
Everything I do
You know
is
you
on a grand
extra. You
scale.
know you extra. You extra. You extra.
It is on a grand scale, and
Yeah.
so this website, I looked at it today, the preview today, and
Mhm.
it's almost there. It's almost ready. We're going to
Okay.
be live on August 20th. So if you
Okay.
just
That's
want to
not
wait a
far.
couple more days
That's not
to
far.
order you a shirt, you can order a shirt on markeviaslearningcenter.edu. Um,
L.
and and I'm telling you, I'm so excited, and I think that when people go to the website, people will say, that's Marquis. Like
Yeah.
the website is just it's gonna be me, especially if you know me personally. You're gonna
Mhm.
say, of course, this is exactly what he would have on here.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm
Mm.
excited. I can't wait to see it. So I'm gonna be the first one tip tapping in,
Yes,
trying to see what the
I want the website to crash. You know when they be like, "Oh, the
absolutely.
website down." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, get it back up, please.
Okay, so let's have a little fun.
Okay,
Okay, so this is what we finna do because I want to get the business clear. Okay,
okay,
so check this out. Okay,
okay.
so we all be on Facebook, we be on Instagram, we're on especially TikTok, right? So they always flashing the math problems on the screen. Okay. Everybody gets it wrong because they don't know the order. Okay. They don't know whether to do because I just be shaking my head like, oh my God, these are some idiots. Do you not know? Do you not know the PEMDAS?
Yes, the PIMDAS.
The PEMDAS. Do you not know? Y'all don't know. Let me tell you, being that I'm so good at with numbers and math, trust me, I done memorized all type of formulas and theories and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh my
Oh
god,
yeah.
like they don't,
Mhm,
y'all don't know what foil is. You don't know foil. Y'all don't know foil.
mhm.
So
And we still use that. They still use foil.
really, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So when they flash the math problem, tell us right. Look, let me clap. Tell us right now what is the order so everybody can start getting it right.
Absolutely. And I think I did this on KSLA a couple of times, and I think it even took
Okay.
them for a loop. So everyone knows PEMDAS, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's called your order of operations. You have four major operations. You're either always adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. That's one great thing about math. Those
Mm-hmm.
4 things that you learned in elementary school, you'll do for the rest of your life. Now, it
Amen.
just depends on what scale
Yeah,
you're
well,
doing it.
oh yeah, because it gets serious. It gets deep.
It gets
It gets
serious.
deep.
And
It
what
gets
trips
deep.
people up are these parentheses.
Come on. Come on,
And
Bishop. Hold
so,
on. I'm in church. Come on, Bishop. Come
yeah,
on, Bishop.
parentheses always comes first. But let me say this. Every time you see a set of parentheses doesn't mean that you do that thing, because parentheses can mean multiplying, or
Uh-huh.
if they have an actual equation or an expression inside the parentheses, you have to solve that first. So you should always solve your parentheses first. So if something says, I don't know, 5 plus 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Johnny had 5 apples, if Johnny had 5 apples
Come
and
on.
he lost 3,
Come on,
and that's in
Bishop.
the parentheses,
Right.
do that first. But
Right.
if it said 5 and 5 is in a parentheses just by itself, that's
Mm-hmm.
not a set of parentheses.
That's
That's
right. Multiplication.
multiplication.
That's right.
And also, people need to know you're always supposed to solve your multiplication and division and or your addition and subtraction from left to right.
Say it one more time.
From left to right. So, for example, if the problem say, and this will be an easy one.
Come
If it
on.
says 1 times 2 um, times 3 divided by 2.
Mhm.
Okay, that's easy because, oh, look at my
It,
M's. My
it's
M's
it,
came straight across.
uh-huh.
But if you have an entire problem and it's completely mixed with
Mm-hmm.
multiplication and division, and let's say division happened to come first, like that's the first sign that you see.
Mm-hmm.
If the remaining signs are multiplication, then you can solve that from left to right because the rule says solve from left to right. And if
Mm-hmm.
you end up doing some multiplication in there, you're gonna get the wrong answer, unfortunately.
Right. Right.
So, and
I
they and you better believe they're gonna have that answer choice down there too, because they're
they
gonna say somebody gonna do multiplication first because it's sticking in their head. Do it first.
uh-huh.
Do it first. They're
Uh-huh.
forgetting that little fine print that say from left to right.
That's right. See,
Yeah.
I just had to get I just peasants. I had to get that clear for the peasant. I had to get I had to
Oh, Jesus.
I'm telling look, it racks my nerves. Like, oh
No,
y'all,
yeah.
okay, y'all, oh my god. You're so unworthy. Y'all are so unworthy right now. You can't. Y'all are so unworthy. So let's talk about this before we end it. Let's okay. So when is your? Let me ask you this. When is your next play? What's the next play you're in? Because I missed the last one. You were in when you in
What my eyes can't see.
yes
Shout out to Jay Williamson. I have to
yes
say that was my first play
okay
in like 5 years.
okay okay
Um, and now that I am kind of operating on my own schedule now, I am open to doing more plays. I miss being on stage. I
yeah
remember telling him and everyone else, I was like, please just give me a small role. I said, I haven't done this in a while. School was actually getting ready to come up, and
hmm
I wasn't sure if I was going to return back to campus at that time.
okay
And the play was so close to the start of school. And I
hmm
was like, listen, I don't really want a big responsibility. I got that script, I got the character, we started rehearsing, and I felt like I was 20 all over
hmm
again.
yeah
Or actually, no, I felt like I was 9
okay
because that feeling of I'm back on stage. I mean, when I
yeah
started teaching, I've done maybe 2 or 3 shows since I was in the classroom, and it just takes up all your time. But
yeah
when I got this script and when we had the show, it was only one show. I was like, I miss this.
yeah
So it the having a microphone in my hand, like I was
oh
like,
yeah
what is
yeah
this thing? What is this? And it felt so good, and it felt like home. It felt like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
there were a couple of my clients that came to see that show,
Okay.
and some people that I know, and because here's the thing, it's one thing to teach people how to do something,
Mm-hmm.
but to actually have them see you do the very thing that they're teaching you to do is
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. Even when I was in the classroom with my theater students, we would do various things, and if they were showing us, okay, come on, let's do this together, and they would see me get into character, and they'd be like, okay, like
Yeah.
they would be so caught off guard because I'm their teacher,
Right,
and
right.
I would tell them, no, try this or do it like this, but to see it, that makes all the difference in the world. And so I'm a big
Mhm.
advocate of that too. I believe, and that's why I love going on television so much and
Mhm.
doing different things, because it's like I'm not about to keep saying that Marquevea's Learning Center can give you the advantage if I don't show y'all the advantages that
Right,
I have.
right,
So
right. That's dope. That's dope. So I'm gonna make sure I have to come to see your I have to make sure as soon as you post a date or something,
yeah.
I need to put it in my calendar to make sure I come see you perform. I haven't done I don't I was in a place 7 years ago. It's been a minute.
Mhm.
It's been a minute, and I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. I like being on stage. I like perform. I love it. But the plays, it messed up my mental space.
Yes, now depending on, yeah.
It told my I'm not it that play it told my mental space. It told it up.
Yeah, you got to be prepared, and you got to learn how to slowly release it. It takes time.
Okay, yeah.
And you do have to be careful about your character selections. I've only denied one role in my entire life
Okay.
because I was
Okay.
like, absolutely not. I was like, no way. I was like, no, just for what it called for.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal role. Nothing wrong with the role. It was everything wrong with me. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and to try to shake that off, and even with rehearsals, like
Mm-hmm.
you have to let some of it go. But the fact is, and every actor will tell you this, you never let it go. It never goes off.
Mm-hmm.
It never goes off. Even when it's over, it takes a moment for that stuff to
Yeah, yeah,
get off of you,
yeah,
and all of that.
yeah, yeah. So I haven't really like not look. I liked it. It's not no Lord. I leave that to Denzel and them. I lied. Leave that to Denzel now. That's not. I don't think. No, I don't think so. So first of all, let me go ahead and just thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
But before we leave, does anybody on here have any questions? Any questions? Go ahead and please drop your questions. I'm sure Marvkevea will go back through and answer. Even if you do it afterwards, that's fine. Run it back. Um, and drop your question so he can answer all of your questions. So don't forget he has a website. The website is dropping on the 20th, so you don't have you ain't got long. The website gonna be dropping on the 20th, so I'm sure all the frequently asked questions are gonna be on the website as well. So thank you. So just want to say thank you so much, Marvkevea, for everything that you do, from the educating to the more educating, the extra traveling, and all you do for the city of Shreveport. We most definitely appreciate it. Um, Shucks, I don't know what else to say. I love everything about you. You always smiling. You always have a lovely attitude. And I just adore you to the I just adore you to the fullest, and I'm so happy for you. I'm very proud of you. I'm definitely gonna cop some stuff from you soon or whatnot. So what I ask my guests to do. Oh wait, first before I do that, give us your social media information again.
Yes, so Marqueviea's Learning Center, just like y'all see it on here now, that name, Facebook, Instagram. You can type it in.
Mhm.
like, follow, etc. If people want to follow me personally, I don't know. This whole like marvelous thing has really taken off.
Mhm.
That's another thing, marvelous the three S's. I am that marvelous. If people want to follow me for fun stuff, I love that too because I think that I'm a very unconventional
Mhm.
educator.
Mhm.
I tell people all the time, I'm not your teacher from the 90s or the
Right.
80s.
Right.
I'm just not.
Right.
I'm different. I'm very, very different. And I think that that's another reason that attributes to Marvkevea's Learning Center and
Mhm.
where we are today. So please follow me. Like I'm putting things out almost daily now because I have
Mhm.
an opportunity to do that now
Right.
and to share my message my way and to help people the way that I really want to help. So
Okay, so I end my podcast with the guest giving inspirational or motivational words to the people. Cause I know you got some. I know you got
ooh,
some
you think I got
inspired. I
something?
know you do. I know
Mhm.
you do. It's not a doubt in my mind. See, I ain't tell you about that part, huh?
You did not. You did not.
I did.
Um, I would say this. Never be afraid to take a risk on yourself.
Mhm.
I think that I live by this mantra. I believe that I should be the number one person to have my back. I should never ever depend on anyone to have my back. It is phenomenal to have all of the support in the world, but I have to be my biggest cheerleader. I have to be my biggest support. I have to be my biggest believer.
Mhm.
And if I don't feel firm and confident in what I'm giving out and what I'm dishing to the world, then it
Mhm.
probably shouldn't be. I probably shouldn't do it. I probably should go back to the drawing board. But when I do, and I believe in something, and
Mhm.
even if everyone else is like, I don't know, I'm still gonna do it because I believe in it. So believe in you, believe in yourself, bet on yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the only person that, well, you're the only one that can answer to yourself.
Come on.
So that's me. And I'm literally doing that daily. So I'm not just saying that just to
Mhm.
say it. I'm
Right.
saying that because I've been telling myself that now that I'm in this brand new space in my life,
Mhm.
that take the chance on yourself. Because if I'm not gonna take a chance on myself, I dare not ask anyone else to take a chance on me.
Come on. I believe in you and me.
I believe in you and me.
Better start that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.